There we go. Good evening. It is June 9th. Welcome to Aligning with Success. I'm your host. I'm not sure if Dave is, I believe Dave may be still on holiday. He had some things going on in the 2 weeks, so I believe he has given me a heads up on that, but I just don't recall our last conversation about that. Anyway, this is week 23 of 2025. And I don't have a huge agenda today. I wanted to get more or less some dialogue going, some feedback going on, what you've been participating in and hearing over the last few weeks. Before I do that, and we definitely will do that, I wanted to introduce you to something that was launched on Friday. And you have every opportunity to go and explore this. I think it's going to be good for you to do so, so you can see what exactly it is. Can you all see that now? Okay. Introducing Team Diamond Global. Go to teamdiamondglobal.com and explore, and you'll see what this is about. Essentially, it is a platform that has been created to feature, promote, and collaborate the Niken Diamonds and Royal Diamonds. And it is a platform to help coach and develop the next generation diamonds. Most of you know um, the agenda that I have and Dave has is one new diamond every province and state in North America to reach our 2030 goals, a goal of 500 million with Niken. And so that was going to take a concerted effort on the parts of not just Dave and myself, but a lot of the Niken leaders in the field. As you can see, you can go and read all their bios here. It's in three languages, French, English, and Spanish, and you can get to know some of these diamonds and royal diamonds. These are the royal diamonds. Down below, we have a couple of diamonds, and we're gathering up more. The purpose of this page is to create a platform for advancement. And our academy breaks out into a few opportunities for people to meet with, connect with Niken Diamonds and Royal Diamonds. So this is the start of something. And we hope that it will be something that grows and brings with it its own momentum. And I'm sure you'll enjoy the information and the support that comes from this group of dedicated and committed diamonds and royal diamonds who are part of this effort to take Niken to 500 million. So um, lots is happening behind the scenes that you may not be aware of. As you can see, we're putting things, the pieces of the puzzle together to make this vision of 2030 not just an idea, but an actual game plan. And you can be one of those diamonds, royal diamonds, that we add to our board. Um, and that's going to take some effort, yeah, but it's going to be worth it. That's really what it comes down to. I think it was Bo Tanis who once said, "Don't ask if it's what do you say? Don't ask if it's going to be difficult. Ask if it's going to be worth it." And I imagine you can imagine that it certainly will be. So definitely go check it out, teamdiamondglobal.com, and explore it and see what's what. There will be content, there'll be calls and so forth that are going to be organized. Some of them are specific to platinums and above, which is our focus group right now. And anyway, you'll learn more as we go, as we grow. So let's get back to what we were talking about over the last few days. Guys, this is going to be an open call. And so let's see, starting with we had this weekend the launch of Golden Gut Formula. A number of you were hosting events, and we saw all that on the chats. Congratulations to all of you who were involved in that. And how many of you are using the gut formula? How many of you have actually started using it already? Okay, cool, cool. Question. I know with, and this is for me and maybe for anybody who's watching, maybe even for you. I know with the collagen product, there's so much information and awareness of collagen, especially for how it makes you look. And we are a society in North America that is enamored with how we look. So it's kind of an easy thing to talk about collagen and get people to want to take an interest in collagen. Um, I don't find the same is true with the gut formula. There is an awareness of gut formula, but it's just not as sexy as collagen because I can't take a before and after picture and say, hey, look, this is the difference, my skin and whatever. So I'm curious, those of you who've been on the collagen, just for the sake of this call and whoever's watching it, have you noticed anything that you can say, you can put a finger on, say, yeah, this is definitely because I'm taking the collagen, or not the collagen, the gut formula, because I know that's true for the collagen. I know that's 100% true. We've all seen that. We've all experienced it. We've all had our own personal stories. Everything from my hair being better or whatever to wrinkles improving to eyesight, all kinds of stuff going on. For me, that was a interesting one, which was the big change in eyesight. But with the gut formula, I think it's more subtle. And so I'm just curious, since we have a host of people who've been using it, is there anything that you could say that you feel strongly about that the gut formula has made an improvement in terms of your health and your well-being? Barbara? Anybody, just unmute yourselves. We're going to hear from whoever has. Yeah, go ahead, Barbara.
I haven't been on it a long time, but because of what I've been through for the last year, my energy has been lower than what you and most of my team are aware of me having. And since taking the gut formula, I'm noticing an increase in my energy
Hmm.
and more focus. I've only been on it 3 weeks, but I have noticed that difference. As long as I take it first thing in the morning, before I
Okay.
do anything else. If I
Do you take?
start off with the coffee and then have it, it's not as noticeable. But if I
Okay.
start off with the golden gut first, at least a half hour before anything else, I notice a difference in my energy level and it sustains my energy level.
Okay. Good. So that's a footnote there. Maybe it's important to take it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. That way it doesn't get interfered with the coffee and so forth.
Well, there was
Excellent.
mention of it being more quickly absorbed if you take it in on an empty stomach. And I listening
Makes
to Dr.
sense.
Wildman, um, he emphasized that as well.
Well, and because it is gut formula and it's related to the lining of our stomach or the lining of our gut, obviously you don't want it to be sidelined because of all the other stuff your gut's processing. So it does make sense.
My
Sherelle,
biggest adjustment was the fact that it was effervescent because I haven't been drinking anything soda like effervescent for years.
that's my
So
favorite
that
part
was
of
a
it.
shock to my system. So then I just put more water in and I let it sit for a few minutes before I consumed it, and then I was fine. But
Oh,
the
wow.
effervescence was totally foreign to my body
That's
for
so that's actually my favorite part of it. I love well the taste too, of course, but I like the fact that it's effervescent because I like you don't have any effervescent drinks at all. Cheryl,
Yes, I'm going to say I do love that it's fizzy. I put the powder in it, and then I put the water, and then I drink it as soon as it starts fizzing up. I don't know. It just tastes really good, and I like the fizz. So I do take it in the morning, or when I first wake up. It's the first thing on my stomach, and I notice more mental clarity while I'm at work.
Okay,
while
that's
I'm at
two
work.
for mental clarity. Boy, I'll tell you,
Yes.
if that's all it did, we got a home run. So that's two for mental clarity. Anyone else?
I'll speak, Michael, to being able to easily approach it. Having a personal experience of my daughters having issue with the digestion and so on, it's just so natural, and so many people are affected by digestion and things related. It was just easy. My neighbor said, "Yes, I'm dying to try something that is going to help my gut." And he's been on it about a week. I saw him the other day. He said, "I love it so far. I can't wait to see what it's going to do for me." And he has Chinese medicine type of a education background. So very
Wow.
easy to approach people.
Fantastic. Keep us informed on that. I'd like to see what happens if this person, because obviously this person's
He
going to be in the
knows,
know.
yes.
Yeah.
He will be a testimonial. I'm pretty confident.
Nice. Great. Bela.
Um, am I unmuted? Yes. Well, actually, I've been on it for just over a month now. I'm into my 5th week, and it actually made things a lot worse for me to begin with. But I have been on a lot of medications and all that, and things are improving now. But what I did want to say was that I find when I started drinking the Mag water, I noticed that my acidity levels went down. I wasn't having acid reflux as much. And that has improved with the Golden Gut. But my son, who I put on it, who has terrible allergies, it's been helping him. He's also, he was gluten intolerant. So he's told me, "Mom, it's helping me." So if that's anything.
In what way would you say it's helping him?
Well, the flatulence and the bloating, you see, it
Okay.
caused the bloating and the flatulence, which I didn't have before and I had now. So, but it's settling down. And the other thing I noticed the last couple of days, my blood sugars have come down. But I also started the Jade Green Symes, the capsules. I
Yeah.
started those late last week. So I don't know if that's connected to.
More so. The J
More
green
so?
side is for blood
Yeah.
sugar. Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, everything is going in the right direction.
Wonderful. Excellent.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing about Nikken technology. It's all complementary. It's not like there's a redundancy in this.
It's synergistic.
Everything you add creates another level, just another level of improvement in our overall well-being. And that's just really the nicety of having a product line that's wide. You only had one thing, then that's the only thing, and it appeals to some and not to
Right.
others. But when you have everything and it's all a complement,
Right. I
then
was adding everything slowly because I wanted to isolate which was triggering the improvement in what area.
Mhm.
My blood work improved this last month, which was nice. Inflammation came down a little bit, which was nice. So I attribute everything to all the Nikken products I'm using because
Yeah,
nothing else has changed. My eyes improved in
I
April.
totally get that. And
You
that's
know.
especially true, by the way, as well with the Bergisterol. If you're looking for blood numbers to improve, Bergisterol,
Yeah, I'm on that too.
you'll see those numbers improve. I have
Well,
a
I'm
customer
hoping.
that just reported that last week to me.
Yeah, but I have so much more energy. But what I am
Yeah.
finding, I don't know if it's related to the Golden Gut. I'm really, really sleepy. I have more energy when I'm wide awake, but I'm sleepy. Like my body's craving rest.
Okay, well, that wouldn't surprise
too.
me if everybody on the phone said that, because there has been some explosive energies coming off the sun the last week. Like, I don't know
Oh,
if you guys pay attention to any of that stuff, but there's been massive energy infusions into the earth, massive, like on another scale. So if you're feeling the effects overall, it doesn't surprise me.
mhm.
What are they, Mike? Because I have several of us have been talking about that. We're just feeling different. So what are the effects? Because I didn't know that.
It's a higher level of radiation, so people are feeling all kinds of things, fatigue being one of them, foggy, like mental fog and so forth being another one. Yeah, super high energy. So it's not something that we're used to. So a little bit of a disorientation.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Jeannie.
Well, that explains a lot.
So we have a reason now.
I know, and I know. I'm like, okay.
Honestly, I don't know how anybody without can manage without a Nikken pad, a Nikken sleep system. I
I'm
mean, I
telling you.
just can't imagine.
That's so true. This I started, I believe, the beginning part of April with the Golden Gut, and I always, when I add something new, I usually, if it's really good for me, I feel a surge of energy. So I did have that energy in the beginning, and then I've been working with a physical therapist with my shoulder, and I've been dismissed from that, and it's the recovery time from working it out is amazing. And I don't necessarily have to do every day now. I can go every other day, and it's fabulous. So I attribute that to the Golden Gut formula too for me. The other thing is I immediately measured, but I'm kind of thick middled, even though I'm very slim. And I measured right around my belly button, and I lost like 3/4 of an inch the first 2 weeks. And I was like, whoa. So that tells me that something is going on inside my body. And I haven't done anything differently really as far as food or any of that. We eat sort of good, pretty good. So that was kind of pleasing for me. My clothes fit better in the middle. So
Nice. Awesome. Thank you. Madeline.
I just feel overall better, but I'd like to talk a little bit about the attributes. The gut is we talk about a good night's sleep, and if you don't get a good night's sleep, your immune system drops 60%, but your gut is the organ for boosting your immune system. And if you remember back to when we had Dr. Naidu and the lactoferrin gold, and he really talked about that inner lining, the immunoglobulins that are in the inner lining of the gut and how very important they are. So in watching the video that the doctor showed the other day, and he said with this product, it's from the beginning until the dump in the toilet. So we're talking about not just the inner lining in the stomach and the upper intestine, but all the way out. So the integrity of that inner lining and just making that leaky gut be simple, if something's stuck in there longer than it's supposed to get out, or if the lining, the integrity of the lining isn't good, what is in the gut is not good stuff. So it seeps out and it absorbs into us. So we are absorbing those toxins into us through the blood system, through the vascular system. And then that interferes with our ability to have a good immune response to fight any kind of a disease. And so this product is critical. And what Barb said is really important. First thing in the morning, before you drink anything else, and just let it get in there so that you're starting with the throughput with having emptied the gut out, having slept overnight and not been putting anything in it since you went to bed anyway. And so from the immune perspective, it is profound. And Frank was on a Power Leaders call with us the other day, and he rarely says anything, but he spoke up and he said, we should be more excited about this nutritional than any other because it will help the absorption of the improved absorption and function of every other nutritional we're taking all the way through the gut. And food we're eating too. Good food, bad food. It's going to help with the absorption, but hopefully of the good nutrients. And that makes so much sense because we get things plugged up later on, diverticulitis and polyps in the colon, and those other things that occur later on. They all have to. They're because of throughput and getting stuck where they're not supposed to get stuck, and then getting them out of there from where they are to get out the other end and so forth. But from the perspective of immune, we have immunity. Our multiple mushroom product immunity is going to work even better. I remember the first time I heard a presentation by Kimball was at an East Coast Expo. I probably have it on here, and it would be nice if she would redo that again. And it was all about the gut as your first line of defense. I think she was talking then primarily about digestion and other nutritionals that we had, the lactoferrin and the digestion, but she really gave a whole part on the gut. So does Randy Rolfe. And on our other calls, Randy has done that as well. She's done a very good one on the golden gut. So I wanted to say that from that perspective. The other thing is, the gut is called your second brain. So all of these issues with early dementia, autism, all of the increase of nervous disorders and all of the increase of anxiety and all the drugs that people, it's like second to cardiovascular and then probably cancer treatment. The third would be all the neurological issues that people are on. And so when you don't absorb those, reabsorb into your body from the gut, if it doesn't go through the way it's supposed to, where what it affects most is the blood-brain barrier. So the blood-brain barrier in the brain, when those toxins get in the brain, is when you have the sluggishness and the symptoms that we're getting with early dementia and not feeling as good. And so that's what I think will probably be the best for us to say on all of this feel good stuff that we're supposed to be feeling good. Nobody wants to talk about their bowel movements every day, but it's good to say that because you should not have only one a day, but 2 to 3 a day. And most people don't even know that. And most people don't have one every 3 or 4 or 5 days. And so we wonder why we have the issues that we do. And it's because foods are refined. They don't eat enough fruits and vegetables and roughage and all the other stuff we're supposed to do. And so this is really very powerful. And I've already had people asking, do we still need to continue to take the lactoferrin? Yes. Do we still need to take the digestion? Yes. They each have some specific function, and they're only going to work better by taking this first.
So would you say, Madeline, this has got to be on your top 5 list?
Top 5 list. And I would put Jade Green's enzymes to go back. Barley grass, the Jade Green enzymes, you can live on it alone. The barley grass, if you remember when Roger Drummer was teaching and so forth, it is used as the K rations for the British Army. They could live on that. And so it is critical. Everybody should be on the barley grass. And it will, even though we're not allowed to say this, are we being recorded tonight? So I guess
yes,
yeah,
we are.
Okay, we're being recorded.
And
I have
this is for
I have-
internal use, so it's our business. It's
okay,
nobody
'cause
else's
I
business.
have that document on the Jade Green Zymes, and it does everything from lower blood sugars. It does it, it lowers blood sugars. I had a Polish drinker one time. He loved his beer.
Madeline, let me
Yes.
just cut you off for a second.
Okay.
So if you had your top 5, if you had this is your core. This is
Okay.
your absolute core, because we have a lot of products. I mean,
Yes, we have a lot.
I have a
Yes.
lot on my kitchen sink, and
Yes.
and I said to our CEO, please, not another pill. I can't take another pill. Thank God it's a powder.
Yes.
I can at least use it to swallow some other pills. But anyway, if you had your pick of the 5 of the most important nutritionals that we should be on, what would they be?
Okay, well, I would think that the Jade Green Zymes and the gut, and I'm biased about the pink collagen complex because not only of the anti-aging, but for me, the bones, and so I think everybody should be worried about it too, because most people are sedentary. You don't have to be an older lady to be worried about your bones. Most people aren't moving around.
So
like
this
they
is
should.
this is not to say that things are not important. I'm just
Right.
saying your
Okay.
absolute 5. If I had to start
Okay.
somebody brand new and I was going to suggest at least these things, these would be this is the core. You got to
Those are
have
the-
the core.
And then I would ask them, you have to listen to what are their needs or what are their interests. So if they have joint issues, the CM joint is excellent. The men's or women's formula, the multivitamin, some people like multivitamins, that's core. It's listed in our core. The one shake a day, that's core. That's listed in our core. But some people don't want to take a shake every day. Some want to eat meals. So that's where I think the other two, you can learn more. What does the individual want?
So you're saying at the heart of it, whatever it is that they want is added, but you got to be on the Jade, you got to be on the gut, and you got to be on the PCC.
Yeah, and the other one I would say, because most people don't eat enough fruits, is the Ciaga. That Ciaga has, if you mix Ciaga in your green zymes, you're getting all your fruits and vegetables in a day, whether you eat any others or not. It's important to eat others and have the roughage and chew fruits and vegetables, but how many people buy fruits and vegetables, especially organic ones, and eat them fresh? So again, where is the person if they're a good fruit?
And not only fresh, but without GMO, without
organic,
pesticides, without
right.
all the stuff that.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think we got the message there. So if you're not on some of these items, you might want to consider adding them. That's from our resident brilliant mind, Madeline, who knows
Nurse, yes.
mind and nurse. I would add, by the way, to me, is mental clarity. I don't know.
But
For
yeah,
for
no,
me,
yes.
I noticed that as soon as I started taking that one, things started to pop differently for me. That was one I wasn't expecting. But okay, anyway, and of course, I mean, come and look at my house. I probably showed this on video. How many things I take? I take them all. Well, I don't think I take them all. I think I take most everything. I've got about 8 or 9 different things I take. So yeah. And is there an issue with having them together?
Um, that Randy's always asked that question. And she says that she takes them all earlier in the day so she doesn't miss them. So,
Right. Yeah, that's how
yeah.
I do
And
it.
so,
That's how I
yeah,
do it. Yeah.
I think it's important to take them. They're not mega doses. You're not going to have
Yeah.
yellow urine. They're intended to be absorbable and they're intended to be complementary with one another.
But
They tell you that.
if you're taking progesterol to bring down your cholesterol, normally they tell you to take cholesterol medication at night. So I take some of the I split up my dosages and I have them in the morning first thing. First thing I do is I have my golden gut before I do anything else. And I don't like the taste. But anyhow, that's me. But I take it because it's good for me. And then I split up my nutritionals between morning and night. And so I'll do the 2 jade green enzymes in the morning and then 2 at night. And I figure my night during the night is when you secrete growth hormone. So I figure any support that my immune system can get to support that growth hormone, it's good to take at night. So progesterol for sure, because I have to take something for cholesterol. So I do the progesterol at night for sure, not in the morning.
Okay. Good stuff. Good info.
Mhm.
Let's move on.
Randy-
Paula. Oh,
I just wanted to say, Randy always says that these are whole foods, are nutritionals that our body recognizes, so there is no issue for them being taken together. And that's what I know that she really emphasizes.
I kind of look at it as I'm getting my nutrition in a meal.
Yes.
And then everything else I eat for pleasure. So I got my bases covered. Okay. Wait, Paula, you were up next.
Yeah, I'm one of these anal analytical people that have to know how everything works before I can sort of talk about it. And I got this magazine at the Shoppers. It's called Improve Your Gut Health, and it says right on the top, discover more about the latest trend. And it's all about gut health and different foods that you can have and stuff like that. I also got this one is Your Guide to a Healthy Gut. And I've read this one cover to cover. And then there was a third one, Your Brain Gut Connection. And like, as I said, I got all 3 of these at Shoppers, and it was amazing that they all came out in the same month. So I don't think that we're wrong in addressing the gut. And if you have problems talking about it, hand somebody a magazine, let them leaf through it and let them make their own decision.
Okay, that's good. We got that on video. So guys,
Yeah.
head out to Shoppers and pick one up. I don't think you guys have Shoppers in the US, but I'm sure this is on the newsstand somewhere.
And guess what the new trend is? Kiwi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Golden
that because my
kiwi.
daughter's totally into it. She's been for a while. Wes,
Yeah, Mike, I'm like you. I rely on the broad spectrum of nutrients to provide all my nutritional needs, and then I eat pizza and drink beer. But I've got to say, a lot of the products have remedial value, and I hear people are using them that way. But for me, it's a broad spectrum of nutrition. I've got to feed 50 trillion cells and hope that they all get what they need, and they all have different needs. And so I treat all of these products as food products addressing the needs of different cells in the body. And while
nice way to put it.
I don't take all of them every day, but there is a core group that I take every day. But the rest of them I do take on a random basis. I always make sure I'm taking a little of this and a little of that and adding it in. And I seem to be doing well. I will say, though, in a remedial sense, I've had on the back of my neck for as long as I can remember, I mean, all the way back to college, something that thought should be cut out, although a doctor did not want to cut it out. It was a he was afraid he would damage too much of what's important there. But you know what? It's going away, and it started with the pink stuff, and it's gotten even better with the golden stuff. And so I got my gold ticket, and I'm in the pink.
That's awesome. Good stuff. Good marketing terms too, by the way, Wes. I like them. Barbara.
Something that Randy Rolfe mentioned about the pink collagen complex. She always takes hers at nighttime because that's when the body is restoring itself through our sleep pattern and so forth. And of course, if we're using the sleep technology, it's even that much better. But she said the pink collagen complex in her mind is more beneficial taking it at night when the body is in its distinctive healing aspect of our health.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Good
that's
to
a
know.
tip.
Everything else through the day, but the PCC at bedtime.
Okay, good to know. Sherelle.
Yeah, I do take my PCC before I go to bed. I got that Ruth. I think I heard Ruth Lowe say that. I think, if I'm not mistaken. But there are 11 organ systems in our body, so it is it's so important to have the specifics that Nikan has, like for the liver, for the cardiovascular, and everything that I noticed. It's for something, but it benefits something else, and maybe even something else, and maybe even something else. And I think all of that connected is how we achieve our well-being and how we feel like we should feel, so we can act and do the things that we want to do in our lives, in our daily lives. So it's definitely a blessing.
Awesome. Really good. Good.
Mike, I've had the proof of the pudding several times in the last 2 years. I've had multiple blood panels done. And if the results of every single blood panel without exception, I have been asked, how come a woman your age, I'm obviously a senior, can have such phenomenal blood results? I'm right smack dab in the middle of normal levels on everything. And I attribute that to sleeping on the sleep system, drinking the water, and taking the nutritionals. In spite of all the other challenges, my blood panel is still fabulous.
I think it's important to note that because we have other businesses and in network marketing that sell products, usually kind of a one-trick pony. They got that super glue that sort of keeps you together, right? What I like about Nikan, I think it's more authentic and more realistic to think that there is not one trick pony. There's not one fix. The body is much more complex than that. We need a multitude of vitamins and minerals on a daily basis. We need restorative sleep. We need hydration. It's the complement of all of these things working together that gives us really the added advantage. And so it's important, I think, that when we introduce people to Nikan, we introduce them to the concept that this is a total wellness approach, that it is not one magic pill is not real. That's not the truth. And so they need to understand that their body is designed to be in contact with nature. Their body is designed to eat a multitude of different things in order to get what it needs in terms of the complex or the complement of vitamins and minerals and so forth. So we have a much more integral, holistic approach to the subject. And I think it's important that we give our customers that understanding right from the beginning so that we can help them get started. But the start is not the end, it's just the start of an ongoing process of them developing an understanding of how they can improve as they go along. Maureen.
I'm going to sort of beg to differ on Barb's comment about taking the PCC at night. I think it's something you have to check for yourself. I say that because one of my first customers who was trying it out remembered I said, take it on an empty stomach. And for some reason, she had an early morning, woke up at 4 a.m, decided to take it then and then go back to sleep. And half an hour later, boing, she's full of energy. She's totally alert and got more done, including coffee, reading the paper, and folding laundry before her husband got up at 6. So everybody's different. For myself, I noticed I take it in the morning. Sometimes I'm intermittent fasting. And I notice about half an hour later, I kind of get an alert feeling. So for me, it is an energizer too. And I probably wouldn't recommend it for me at night. So that's my comment.
Okay, cool. All right, let's change channels for a second here, and then we'll wrap up. This is good. It's good insight. You know, that's one of the things about being part of the wellness community that's important is that we have knowledge that we can share amongst us and give our. I thought tonight's call was really important for me in terms of how to better utilize the nutritionals, and again, focusing on what are the core nutritionals. I think I'm going to up my Jade Greens because I think I usually mix it with the KBB, so that's sort of my meal. But I think I do want to take more of it. Anyway, switching gears to the business. Of course, we're in June. This is the 9th of June. We're past the first week. I don't know if we mentioned goals in the first week. I know I did on the chat. Those of you that are part of the June We Accelerate chat. But it's important to have goals. Everything that drives us, drives our behavior, that activates, I'm going to say this again, the subconscious mind, the reticular activation system is by design led by whatever it is we envision for ourselves. So if you set a goal and commit to it, what you're announcing to yourself and to your subconscious mind and to your reticular activation system, which is the radar. I consider that the radar. It sweeps the world for the solution to whatever it is that you're searching for based on the objective, the goal. When you set a goal, you bring alignment into those systems that start to operate on an unconscious level to draw to you the mechanisms, the means, the people, the circumstances, to bring those things into focus so that you can convert them into a result. I think it's really, really important that you operate with goals. If you're not operating with goals, then Nikken is really more for you a hobby. It's more for you entertainment, a hobby, just something you like to belong to, be a part of, but you're not really treating it as a business. And I think it's a lot more exciting when your nutritionals are paid for, when they're not only available, but they're free. And, the ratio is 5-to-1. Essentially, when you have 5 people doing what you're doing as customers, your nutritionals are free because you're earning 20% from what they're doing. So that side of the business, I think, is important for self-sustaining, just for it to be a sustainable business. And that eradicates any question of cost. How much does it cost? I don't know. Do you want to buy it or do you want it for free? You tell me. And what do you mean, do I want it for free? Well, there's a way you can get it for free. Do you want to know about that or not? And it's something that I think Richard Brooke, he likes to do. If you like that a lot, I can show you how you can get it for free. And if you like that, I can show you how you can get more than just your products for free. So he sort of ramps up the understanding that there's a way to benefit beyond just the product. And I think that's an important part of our business model, is to empower people. And of course, now that we're all about empowered living, what does that mean? It's not just the products, it's all of the things in the principles, the 5 principles, which include, I love this terminology, diversification of income. You know, when we're talking about people, the financial thing, it's a softer way to approach the conversation of income. Do you have options to diversify your income? Is that something you're interested in doing? Everybody's interested in diversified income or diversifying their income. Not everybody's interested in having a business or starting a business, but diversifying their income, everybody wants the result. Nobody wants to do the work, but they want the result. So the work is just part of how you get the result. But keep that in mind that we have more ways than one to help somebody with our NICAN opportunity. And the products may just be the lead in to that conversation. So how many of you are starting to use the new terminology? A few of you. Okay, good, good. By the way, Michelle, are we ready to make any announcements about?
Yes.
We passed that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so would you mind go ahead and announce what we're doing this month?
I'm so excited. Yes. Michael has very generously offered to come and facilitate an event in Winnipeg on June the 28th. And I will host it. So very, very exciting about this event. And not only do we have Mike as the keynote speaker, but we've also got a certified thermographer that is going to show some studies that she has done with the NICAN insole as verification for the effectiveness of the product. So it's going to be a powerhouse event for sure.
Will you be projecting it out for others? Can others tune in to the speakers? Promote it as well?
We have not discussed that, so I can't answer that. But we do, just as far as the agenda goes, it's going to be carved up over a few hours where I'm going to start off with the law of attraction concepts. So that's going to be the first piece of it, and then it's going to be how to apply the law through living our NICAN agenda. So that's living an empowered life. So the idea is the first place is the mind. You have to open the mind. You have to understand what you want. You have to want what you want. And then there's the application. How do I get what I want? And that moves then our conversation in the second part of the meeting to the NICAN opportunity, the products, etc., the 5 principles as a way to create the life that someone might be wanting. So that's.
Are you going to be recording it?
No, it's a live event. Yeah. So the point is not for you to be hearing about it. It's for you to invite people to it. So there's an opportunity for you to send somebody. Michelle will post the link. You can see the Eventbrite page that's been put together in the flyer. She's going to put that on our chats. And if you have people in the Winnipeg area, or even if you don't, maybe somebody you know has somebody in the Winnipeg area, here's an opportunity for them to get a few hours of great insights and opportunity. Cool. So look at it and look at the link, look at the event page, and start thinking, this might be something I'd like to do. And if that's the case, you know what to do. So I'm going to leave it at that. Any final comments before we wrap up? Yeah, Barbara?
Question. Are you still doing in-homes at your place, Mike?
I do when I have somebody to do it with, yeah.
Okay, because I discovered I'm a lot closer to your place that I can't have anything here where I'm living. So if you had something happening at your place, I could bring somebody to your place.
Well, I don't work that way. I am not
Okay.
the one. I'm helping people build their business. So if they have a need to have something happen, I have my place as a potential place to host.
Okay.
Yeah. See, right now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, there's a new game in town. It's called teamdiamondglobal.com. Go and check it out. And that's the game that I'm playing. And that is building diamonds and helping Platinums go diamond and working with all of the Nikken Diamonds and Royal Diamonds who are in the game for the next 5 years to take Nikken to 500 million. So that is really what my reticular activation system is focused on. I get that. But if there's somebody who wants to be part of that game and they're just getting started today and they want to hook up with me or they want to use my house here and me as a presenter, that's on the table. So Bela, I know you're in the area, Lynn, and Maureen, Barb, if you guys want to have something happen here, Marissa, if you want to have my attention, my home to put something together, it's a showpiece, and I have the most incredible table ever built. The 5 pillars table is extraordinary. To have a meeting around that is pretty impressive. I'm pretty sure anybody you have come will be most
I have pictures
impressed.
of it. I've
Okay.
sat at it. I've
Yeah.
had team members sit at it.
Yeah.
Get your team together and do it. Ah.
Exactly. All right, so that's it for tonight. Thanks everybody for joining. Remember, goals are the thing that triggers the subconscious. So set them if you haven't already for the month of June. Make June an important month. June is an important month, and I mean, there's not a month that's not important. But what makes it important is it's the month you're living in. So live an empowered life to your fullest potential and share that with others.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks.
Good
Lisa.
night.
Good night.
Thank
you.
you
Good
and
night.
good night.
Thank you.